So Brendan, today we have something very unique.
This is an extra special day for me, man.
Yeah, where we have not one, but two N cars.
At Gingerman Raceway in Michigan.
Yes, and we have the fastest gasoline that they offer, the Elantra N.
Yep.
And we have the fastest EV that they offer, the Ioniq 5N.
Exactly, and this is the same N that we had at Road America. We did a quick lap there. It's our first time in this car, although we have been in Ioniqs before. But this N version was the first time at Road America. Impressed us then.
Yes.
So now we're going to see how it does on a bit of a shorter track, a lot more turns, not so much room to stretch your legs. Let's see how it does, and let's see how it compares to the gas one.
Okay, so we're in the Ioniq 5N. We're doing a little warm-up before we start doing our hot lap. How does it drive so far, Brendan?
It's interesting. This is the first time I'm ever going to set a full hot lap in an EV of any kind. So it's only fitting that it's this one because this is so bonkers. I just can't get over the feeling of weight underneath. It's just, with the battery pack down there, it feels so planted, but you could almost feel like the bottom of this car is glued to the road and the top of it is just sort of along for the ride.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean, yeah.
The steering is really, really good.
It's very direct.
Very direct. It drives like a track car. I mean, you could tell that the BMW N people know how to engineer a track car. That's Bierman pretty much, and all the people he surrounded himself with from former BMW N division.
Yeah, Hyundai definitely believes if you don't know what you're doing, hire somebody who does.
Yes, exactly.
Here we go.
Okay, so brakes don't bite as hard as they do, I think, on the Elantra N. Where this thing is going to make up all of its time is like here, carousels, because it's got all that weight down low.
And in the straights.
Yeah, in the straights too. Our battery level is down to 32%. Let's hope we don't go into a limp mode before we can get a full lap in here. Oh man, that time they bit hard. So maybe it's just
maybe they're warming up.
Yeah. Oh, and you can just, with the all-wheel drive, just get on it and pull you right out.
Yeah.
I didn't even need all that runoff.
It's got a very controlled slide there.
I feel like I'm braking a little early just because I'm not sure where the brakes are at. But this is, yeah, just a little throttle steer through here. Dang, that's good. It doesn't drive like as big a vehicle as it is. You feel the weight, but it's very controlled. All right, almost coming up to boost time. There's a little roll from the tires there, not too bad. And here we go. 7, 6, 5, 4. It's counting down. Really only 115 there. Again, braking really too early. Oh, okay. It does this weird thing where it brakes almost like for you a little more as you get deeper into the pedal. It's almost like a power assist.
Yeah.
So 147.81. A 140 here is sort of like a benchmark of a really fast time.
Yeah, that's a really fast time, 140. Probably a couple more laps, maybe get it down to, what do you think, 146.5?
Probably. Yeah. I don't think it's got much more than 145 in the hands of maybe a pro driver.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was expecting a little more on the top end because obviously EVs have great torque, but it reminded me a little bit of the Mustang Mach-E GT, where it gets to a point.
Yeah, it gets to a certain point and it just kind of, like you said, it peters out. Like it just can't get that extra power going.
Right.
On the top end, but the low end, when you're down low and you kick it, that torque is just right there.
Exactly. So but man, did they do an excellent job with the balance?
Yeah.
Where the weight is, the tires, the handling. As you know, we didn't even play with the gear shifting on this one, but in gear shift mode, which is this, you can get it to shift like a regular car. It's just with downshifts and blips and everything, even though it only has one gear.
Yeah, it's just it's a video game.
It's a very awesome video game, you know. I think the biggest limitation for this car is that we don't have anywhere to charge it around this racetrack.
Yeah, charging has been a challenge.
I think if Tracks could make that investment, or maybe Hyundai wants to help them make that investment, in putting some really high kilowatt chargers at these racetracks, I think you'd see more people driving performance EVs out on racetracks, because they're really fun, they're fast,
yep,
they have a better lower center of gravity, so they go better through these carousels.
And the torque is just monstrous.
The torque is amazing. And on a track like this, where there's a limited amount of straightaway, there is a straightaway that's more than like you get at Blackhawk Farms, but not as big as Road America's. This is a perfect track for a car like this.
Yeah.
So I think all in all, man, Hyundai's just hitting them out of the park. Their N division has it going on. Yep. And
yeah. Okay. So now let's see what kind of times we can put in the gas powered Elantra N.
Yeah, a 1:47.81 to beat.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. All right, Paul. Here we are in the Elantra N,
and we're off.
So the brakes are really, really good. The car does have rev match, which works really well. And the front wheel drive, you don't feel, this is the thing that's just magic about this car. You don't feel any torque steer. It doesn't drive like a front wheel drive car you would think would. There's that a little lift off oversteer. The tires are just fantastic.
Very little noise coming from them, actually.
Yeah. And it's so balanced. It's ridiculously balanced.
Look at that.
And then you can just get on the gas really early because you don't have to worry about any power on oversteer.
So nice.
And then the carousels, they really just can throttle steer with it.
There's so much grip.
There is. And it's just gorgeous. It's just so balanced.
Brakes are nice.
The brakes
I gotta say, brakes are nice.
Brakes are. We had somebody who knows BMWs really well take a look at those, and he goes, "Those look like BMW brakes," which makes a lot of sense because Mr. Bierman, who designed this car, came from the BMW M division. So there you go. They're fantastic. They're probably better than I'm giving them credit for by braking too early, but let's see how we do on the first lap. Oh, 154.
Oh, you got a lot of room for improvement there.
Yes, we do. Let's see what we can do. Of course, everything's just getting itself warmed up. There's a little understeer, but again, very balanced.
Very balanced, yeah.
Not pushing.
And the car communicates because those tires start to make that little bit of moaning sound.
Yep. Look at that balance shift. From one side to the other, no problem. And you could literally do this entire turn flat out. You'll hit the rev limiter right about there. And then the brakes are very firm, very reassuring. Nothing's going on in the brakes. And these are stock brakes, stock brake pads, stock brake fluid. This is not prepped at all for the track. This is a total stock car.
Yeah, totally stock.
So I'm super impressed. So 151.78, which is about 3.5 seconds or 4 seconds slower than the Ioniq 5N.
Yeah.
Not surprising because even though I think we thought that the Ioniq 5N was a little underwhelming at the top of the power band.
It still has 641 horsepower.
To this car's 276 horsepower. So it's definitely down on power to the Ioniq 5N, and it shows in the straightaways. You know, you're just not getting the same level of speed that you were there. Look at this, we're catching up to the Porsche.
Yep.
I mean,
well, right now, dude, it's all about the driver. So, Brendan.
So, Paul.
Tell me, what do you think?
I absolutely love this car. There's no better bargain for a car enthusiast on the market today. For $33,000 and some change, that's sticker price. You can pick up this manual and take it to a track and just drive it.
Yeah.
With no changes whatsoever.
And have a fantastic time. Now, okay, admittedly, you're not going to be the fastest car out there.
Nope.
Okay, but you will be having a smile on your face, ear to ear, the entire time.
Absolutely. And that's what's so much fun about these cars, these N cars, is they're daily drivers that you can take to a track. You've got all like the N apps. You've got pops and burbles. You've got rev matching. You've got
and don't get me wrong.
Suspension. I mean, this is $33,000.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. You will put some impressive track times down.
Yes.
You just won't be the fastest one out there, but it's very impressive.
But as we just demonstrated, you can hang with a Porsche 911. You know, your driving skills
with a questionable driving skills of the driver. Yes.
But still. It can hang.
Yeah, it can hang. It's a very impressive automobile.
It's very impressive. It even has a turbo timer. We just found that off. I shut the car off after doing our session, and the fan just kept rolling because it's cooling off the turbo.
It's cooling off the turbo.
It has so much engineering in here that the price point is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. These seats are super supportive. These are, you know.
Even the guy from a Corvette Z06 came in and was impressed with the seats.
Yes, because you could buy 3 of these for what he's... 4 of them for what he spent on that Z06.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine 4 cars instead of 1? It's just, it's truly an amazing car. The other N, and the reason we're sitting in the Elantra right now is because the Ioniq 5N is currently sitting at a charger that was not easy to find.
Yes.
And so therein lies the problem. This, you could just drive to the track.
Yes.
You can drive it all day. We haven't barely scratched the surface of how much gas is still left.
Correct.
And you know, the problem with the Ioniq 5N, even though it's faster,
yes,
and it's a hell of an impressive machine, you will have some trouble
charging problems. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Please hit the subscribe button. You don't know what it means to us. It really helps the small channels like ourselves. And with that, we hope you enjoyed everything, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yep.
Take care.